launched a new political party in South Africa called the African Content Movement in Johannesburg. He says the ACM will work for all citizens of the country from all walks of life. Motsoeneng said earlier that he would compete with President Cyril Ramaphosa in next year's elections. He was equally confident in launching the new party. Well, to tell us more on this story, we cross to our reporter, Abongile Dumako. Abongile, what did Mr. Motsoeneng have to say about his new party?
Certainly, Nompu, a lot of things came out of this press briefing, which was actually packed with supporters from across the country coming here to actually give support to our former COO Hlaudi Motsoeneng. He says he's ready to take on President Cyril Ramaphosa. He's on his way to Parliament and certainly on his way to the union buildings, where he will focus on the needs of the many ordinary citizens throughout the country. We need service delivery, of course, from local government, provinces, and of course up to the national level, saying that he wants him on his hands because he's got that thing that he believes will bring about the much needed change here in South Africa. Going on to say he's going to get rid of these bodyguards that are so many surrounding presidents and make sure that he travels using a bicycle, going to Sandton, Soweto, or throughout any part of the country, just as to making it a point that people have got access to basic services. That's mainly what he sort of came out to say, saying that he is ready for the 2019 elections with his team, which comprises of the national chairperson, your secretary general, your DSG, your spokesperson, and everybody that he says is behind him. They are willing to actually take the country forward.
Abongile, was that press conference, was it well attended by local people, ordinary people? And how many votes would he need to get a seat in Parliament?
Basically, some supporters, I would say they are more than 300. They actually packed this very room we are in Nombu earlier on during when Mr. Motsoeneng was unveiling his new political party. They were actually looking keen to actually get to hear what he has to say that has to do with them as ordinary South Africans. And of course, one other issue that came out, Nombu, was on the issue of funding. He says that we need not worry as the media. Everything is sorted out. There will be 600,000 available for, any financial needs that the party is going to have sort of come across, saying that the coffers of ACM have got money that will see them. In fact, they are registered already as a political party. They will take to the polls in the 2019 elections. He says he's walking to Parliament with his head held up high because he's going to represent many South Africans. He's going to speak the languages that people understand. He's had enough of this English that is being spoken through and through. People don't even understand the language, the English. Now he says that it's about time that parliamentarians, which will include him, are speaking in the language that South Africans rely to and actually understand the most. So we don't know what's at stake in as far as his votes that he needs to go to Parliament, and if at all he will be able to convince South Africans to vote for him so that he get a chance to go to Parliament. But he did make mention of the fact that they will come back and actually inform us as the media as to when are they going to launch their manifesto and what are their plans that they are going to execute or implement building up to the 2019 elections.
I was going to ask Abongile, was he surrounded by any high-profile people that we ordinarily know around him? And in terms of a manifesto, of course, they have to launch that yet, but what did he say about any policy? Basically, there isn't anybody prominent or that we've seen before that actually was here, except for the fact that he actually says that he garnered for the young, energetic people to be part of his team. We're not familiar yet with those individuals. One will have to go the extra mile and get a sense of who are they and what they represent and where they were before they came to the ACM. Yes, indeed, he says they will launch the manifesto of the political manifesto soon. One of the things he did touch base on when it comes to policy was the issue of land, saying that there's this hullabaloo that people will get land free of charge, and yet the very white people who own the land, bought the land from black people, now they want to get the land back free of charge. He says that needs to be relooked, saying that these supporters who actually gathered here, but they must not be confused by the air or by the populists to claim that they are going to make it a point that land is actually, expropriated without compensation. He said that is impossible. Government must take the necessary steps, of which his government will take the necessary steps to make it a point that, land is accessible to everyone. Going on to say, on an African economy level, he wants to see Africa as a continent having its own currency, not dependent on the US dollar and the US dollar and the British pound and other currencies. Africa as a whole should have now its own currency. He says that those are some of the things that you'll see to it that actually get to happen during when he is in the union buildings and of course as well in Parliament.
All right, Abongile, I'm sure we're going to be watching that space as it unfolds. That was Abongile Dumako, our reporter, reporting on Hlaudi Motsoeneng's new party.